Good morning.
Good morning.
So last year, Labour suspended around 10% of the weapons export licences to Israel. The following day, writing for GB News, you questioned whether Israel was really still an ally of the UK. I'm just wondering if you can expand on that, just outline your foreign policy position on Israel and Palestine.
I'm sorry, that's wrong. I said it the other way round. It wasn't whether Israel was an ally of the UK, it's whether the UK was an ally of Israel. And I say that after the British hostage case, where I did meet the family. I did make very, very strong representations to the British public to say, look, this Damari case, we need to wake up to this. I did my best through American media to make them aware there was a British hostage. And I think what you'll find is that the Foreign Secretary, David Lammy, met with the family and gave a fairly underwhelming response. So my question then, and as you say, we are going back a bit, my question then was, are we really an ally of Israel's anymore? I know that since then things have deteriorated, and even some of Israel's strongest friends in the world are asking some quite serious questions.
I guess that's my question then. If you were at the head of the UK government, what would your position on Israel and Palestine be? Would you label their actions in Gaza a genocide?
No.
Would you suspend all arms licences?
No, I wouldn't. And I think, we have to get back to a fundamental fact that what happened on the 7th of October was the most appalling barbarism committed by an organisation who say they will do it again and again and again. No easy answers, I accept that. I'll just say one more quick thing, if I may. Very, very interesting to see some quite senior American generals over the course of the weekend talking about the new EU Defence Pact, which Starmer is signing us up to. There are still more details to come. But when you get senior American NATO generals, retired, saying that an EU force is a distraction to NATO, I would suggest we should start to get very, very worried indeed and face the reality that in terms of defence, yes, of course, increased defence spending, provided it's procured properly, is a good thing and is very, very important and very necessary, a bit like paying the insurance on the house. Without the Americans, we are defenceless. And the more we push down this EU route, the more sceptical the Americans are becoming about our independent role. Right, OK, where are we going next? We've got Rachel Amory from The Scotsman.
Good morning. Looking at the by-election this week, if Reform comes third behind Labour and the SNP, is that a failure in your eyes? And if Reform does win and we see a Reform MSP in Holyrood, will we see more sort of personalised attacks on other MSPs from that candidate?
You're giving a fairly wide range of expectations there. Are we going to win it or have a disaster? I mean, you pays your money, you takes your choice. From what I understand, there's been no proper polling done within the constituency whatsoever. We just don't know. Are we confident of coming third? Yes. Are we confident of coming second? Well, I don't know, but if we do, it'll be a very nice surprise. Do I realistically think we can win? Well, if we do, then that will be the biggest earthquake Scottish politics has probably ever seen. But you never know anything on a low turnout election with a disenchanted electorate. I guess it's not impossible, but I think it's improbable. Stuart Patterson from the Scottish Sun.
Mr. Farage. Hi, Mr. Farage. You describe yourself as being down to earth, but why then have you kicked off your campaigning in Scotland today in a restaurant where people are paying up to 30 quid for a fish and chips?
To try and protect ourselves from the howling mob that have been stirred up by the First Minister and others. So we thought it better to do it here than do it in a high street.
But there are loads of other places you could go.
Well, you all seem to have turned up and you look very comfortable and you're enjoying yourself, so I don't think we got it that wrong, do you?
And what would you do as a kind of flip side to that? What would Reform do for your honorary punter to bring down the price of a fish supper in Scotland? Reduce
the price of energy. And one of the things you are seeing is fish and chip shops all over the United Kingdom literally having to close. Such is the cost of energy. Energy is very much at the centre. We believe that it's led. We know that it's led in America to the most incredible increase in personal wealth over the course of the last decade, and we'd like to try and do the same here. Thank you. Now, the Herald. Now, Andrew Learmouth, it seems that you're involved with this group of protesters outside.
No.
Well, it's funny, isn't it, that you come, and your newspaper also manages to have another one of your correspondents as a protest correspondent. So you knew more about this than we did.
That's not true at all, Nigel. Sorry.
Really?
Absolutely not. So we have two reporters in Aberdeen.
Thank you.
Come on now.
And they're both here. Very
I've
good.
got two reporters going to Hamilton today as
so
well.
much money and so many staff. It must be remarkable. Do carry on.
Just to be clear, we've got a couple of reporters here as well. So
Have you? Right.
Nobody had
Well,
just that. It's like
no.
Absolutely.
Well, no, fair enough. If you say that, I believe you.
I don't know that you do believe me, but I didn't. But I don't know what I was going to ask. Yeah, well, let's talk about the protest.
Well, this location was only sent to you guys. It wasn't put out on the public wires. We didn't put it out to our membership, and yet they knew. So it came from one of you.
Well, people were tweeting about it. Oh, well, it's not.
Anyway, carry on. Sorry.
Well, let's talk about the protest, because I'm not entirely clear what you were accusing John Swinney of earlier when you talked about him inciting or his insightful language. What, are you saying that he's putting you at risk or something? What's?
Well, he used the racist word, didn't he? You know, despite the fact, as I've pointed out, we have many members from all communities, some of whom are in very senior positions within our party. According to the experts, we got more BAME, if you believe in all this, more BAME voters in the last general election than the Liberal Democrats, and we get even more this time. We just want to live in a country where everybody is treated equally, everybody is treated on merit, regardless of race, sexual preference, or whatever else it may be. And as for outside, well, you know who they are. They're Antifa. At least half of them wearing face coverings, which I don't think should be allowed, do you? Okay, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Clarify something.
Let's go.